The whole idea of what an office is has just been turned on its head, right? So the real question becomes, how do you give your team access to everything they need to do their job and do it securely when they could literally be anywhere in the world? Today, we're diving into the technology that makes the Anywhere desktop a real thing.
And this is the huge headache facing pretty much every company out there. I mean, the old days of everyone being under one roof, that's over. So how in the world do you manage and secure, say, thousands of work computers when they're not even in the building? It's a massive puzzle, and keeping company data safe is piece number one.
Well, the answer to that big puzzle has a name: Virtual Desktop Infrastructure. You'll probably hear people call it VDI. Now, I know it sounds super technical, maybe a little intimidating, but the idea behind it is actually really simple. Let's break it down. Okay, think about it like this. You don't have a massive library of DVDs or Blu-rays anymore, right? Of course not. You stream movies from Netflix or whatever service you use. VDI is basically that, but for your entire work computer. Your desktop, all your apps, your files, everything lives safely tucked away on a central server somewhere, and you just stream it on demand to your laptop, your tablet, whatever you've got in front of you. And that's where a platform like Omnissa Horizon steps onto the stage. It's one of the big players that takes this really powerful idea of VDI and actually makes it work in the real world for businesses of all shapes and sizes. It's what turns the concept into a reality. Okay, so how does it actually do it? How does Horizon manage to stream a whole desktop? Something so complex, as smoothly as you'd stream a movie. Let's get into the nitty-gritty and look at the tech making it all happen.
Right at the core of what makes Horizon so fast and efficient is this really cool feature called Instant Clone technology. And trust me, this is where it starts to get seriously impressive.
So what does an instant clone do? Well, imagine you're an IT admin, and boom, you need to set up 100 brand new, perfect, ready-to-go desktops for a new team that starts tomorrow. With this tech, you can spin them all up automatically in just a few seconds. We're not talking hours, we're not talking days, seconds. For a business, that kind of speed is a total game changer. New projects can get going instantly, and new hires are ready to work from minute one.
But Horizon isn't just a one-trick pony, it's a whole platform. For starters, you've got hybrid deployment. That just means a company can choose to run it on their own servers, in the cloud, or a mix of both. Total flexibility. Then there's the centralized management and security. This is huge for IT teams because they get one single place to control everything. It also makes getting apps to people way easier with things like app volumes. And the whole time, it's monitoring performance to make sure everyone has a smooth, responsive experience, so it feels like the computer's right there with you.
So that's the how, a little peek under the hood. But what about the why? Tech is great, but it's only as good as the problems it actually solves. So let's look at how all this stuff really impacts businesses and, the people who work for them.
When you boil it down, companies are using Horizon for three main things. Number one, making remote and hybrid work not just possible, but secure and easy. Number two, just generally getting a huge boost in security and compliance. And number three, making the whole process of setting up VDI or DaaS, which is basically desktop as a service, way, way simpler. This quote really hits the nail on the head when it comes to security. I mean, think about it. What happens if an employee's laptop gets lost or stolen from their car? All that sensitive company data gone. Well, with VDI, that's not an issue. Why? Because the data was never on the laptop in the first place. It's always safe in the data center. The laptop is just a window, a portal to where the real work happens.
All right, we've covered a ton of ground here, right? We started with the big problem of remote work, we dove into the tech like instant clones, and we looked at why it matters. So let's kind of pull back and wrap this up with the key things you really need to remember.
So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, it's really all about finding that perfect balance. On one hand, you've got IT who desperately needs security and control. On the other hand, you've got employees who just want a great, fast experience so they can get their work done, wherever they are. Omnissa Horizon sits right in the middle, giving both sides exactly what they need. It's what makes the modern workplace work. And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question, doesn't it? For so long, the office was a building, a place you went to, but if your actual desktop, your entire workspace, can be anywhere, what does an office even become? What does that word mean anymore? That's the huge shift this kind of technology is driving.